Which where you at? You live in the States?
Yeah.
All right. What's your thoughts on the topic? Is American culture an influence destroying African women?
It's, it's a little nicer than that one y'all had last night.
Are you talking about the topic?
Yeah. All it take is what y'all say something to get the box.
I mean, I think that was pretty clean right there.
No,
Yeah,
that room was fire.
yeah, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
As far as this title, I don't necessarily think it's American culture. Um, I just think it's mindset because I know a lot of women in that same culture, they ain't picking that stuff up. They don't care nothing about it. So I just think it's mindset.
What you mean by people in that culture ain't affected by it? What you mean? Like those in Africa ain't affected by it, or those in America? What you mean?
Yeah, I mean like the women you ask about in the African culture or the African women, a lot of those women not picking up the habits or the mannerisms of women in American culture. They see it as foolishness, but some of them do. But I see more of them not picking it up, looking at these people like they fools.
Mm, okay. Any of the moderators want to speak on that right quick? I have a thought on it. I do have a thought on it. All right. So what I wanted to speak to it though, it's crazy how over there when you're in Africa and such, you start to cling to their ways and such. You start to I would say assimilate your minds. Now, I do want to say some mindset would be culture. Mindset will be culture. The mindset that you bring out into the world is what culture you practice, right? Get that one scripture, if I may. Get that Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 6 right quick. You know how we do this biblical smoke. You was on the room last night, so you know how we do, bro.
Call that one more time for me, sir.
Proverbs chapter 20, maybe it's 23 and verse 7.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 23, and verse 7. For
Mhm.
as he thinketh in his heart, so is he.
So as a person thinks in their heart, so will they be. So if in their mindset, their if their mindset is following after what they see in media, their music, whatever the case may be, whatever they listen to, that's what they're gonna emanate. You ever heard that saying, no more friends about let me see. Watch your thoughts before they become your action. Watch your thoughts before they become your words. Watch your words before they become your actions. Actions, um, character, destiny, some of that nature. Oh, you got the thumbs up. You got the thumb. So you have heard that. That's one of the reasons why we have to make sure our mindset is after a certain practice. So if their mindset is after America, then that's the culture they're gonna follow. Like for example, the Nigerian women may be in Nigeria, or they may come to Nigeria, but you start to see them in their little in their like dramas, in their medias. Or when they come to America, they have the lace fronts. They have they start wearing blonde hair, the wigs. You understand the weaves, right? You ever seen that? No More Friends.
You talking about Beyonce?
Oh man, not just Beyonce, but
I'm
Nigeria women.
messing with
About
you,
Nigeria.
yeah, Gabriel.
Ain't funny. Hey, we dialogue. You can keep your mic unmuted. You being respectful, bro. You being respectful. But yeah, you see them wearing wigs, blonde hair. The women, they start to dress like American women. You understand? And American women dress what? Sort of promiscuous. Where if you was to walk up to maybe I say 21-year-old sister, and you'll be like, hey, how old are you? Well, I'm 21. It was like, why you dressed like that? Why you dressed like a old whore, for lack of better words? Ain't that crazy? You can't differentiate them from whores nowadays. I'm over here talking. I'm talking to No More Friends. He got this mic muted. You strong in the Lord right now, bro. I give you that one. Hold up, let me add him to the stage. Come on up, bro. But let me see. And then one of those trends too is, like I said, outside of being promiscuous, OnlyFans, whatever the case may be, the mindset, the women nowadays are following the mindset of America. I think, and I would think that's a problem. Because most men nowadays are doing what? They would like to do what? They like to leave America to go get a wife. But what's the point in leaving America to get a wife if you're gonna find the same thing over there? What's your thoughts, No More? I like that. You put that up there. No More, your mic working?
Yeah, yeah. So when I was talking about the mindset, it's like if you weak minded, right, you'll fall victim. You easily influenced. So that's what I meant by the mindset. I feel like for the ones who are following in the footsteps, the women who want to wear the blonde wigs and the long eyelashes and all that other stuff, it's just weak minded.
Hmm. I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that. Any of the moderators want to speak right quick? Oh, Micah back. He shit on Micah. Okay. All right. If you weak minded, you're gonna follow anything that's set before you. I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that. People with strong moral principles, which the principles should be what? Should it be, I would say, the practice that's set before you, or should it be, because everybody got different cultures, everybody got different backgrounds, and that you know that saying, right? They say, when in Rome, do as the damn. You ain't working with me, bro. You ain't
Nah,
working with me.
hey Gabriel, nah, you really waking this stuff up, and I don't even think you know. You see, I done already brought out Beyonce. Now you want to bring out the Roman numerals. You see, what was up on that stage when Usher was performing, right? Them damn Roman numerals. So I don't know if you want to go down that hole, brother, but yeah, I mean, we could talk about this all day. Hey, it did look, Gabriel. They all on Jermaine Dupri heels right now. But the
Boy, he was
irony,
up there looking like a damn
no, no, no,
leprechaun, boy.
no, 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 Gabriel PTR. Look at the irony. Usher wore the same thing a few months back. But hey, we going crazy about Usher right now, right? Look at the irony.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you straight though. These are the And it's funny. So when these type of show, hold on a second. Hey, ain't it funny how the Super Bowl halftime is like one of the most viewed, I would say, breaks, correct? Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely right.
So during that brief time where everybody's watching this halftime show, what are they trying to portray? What in America are they trying to portray to the people? That's the question we got to ask ourselves. These are one of the methods where American culture can influence and destroy, and two, what's the name, Superwoman, not just to the women but the men. What the hell are they wearing? Why is it that two married people can hug in a fashion that looks as if they were single? That's a hell of a question we got to ask ourselves. Superwoman, you about to
I'm
say
s-
something?
no, I'm sorry. I thought you asked me a question, but I didn't get what you were speaking on because I missed the show. I don't know if that's what you were talking about.
No, I was just referencing a point you had spoke about earlier. You said, well, we talking about African women, but it destroys both sides. That's what you had said earlier, correct?
Yes, sir, I did. So, what's your question?
No, no, I didn't have a question for you. I was just speaking to the fact that you referenced both sides are being destroyed, not just one side.
Yep,
And,
definitely.
and I agree with you. The fact of the matter is, though, how are they being destroyed? Through our media. America has a major platform, and what everybody decides to watch when they either watching TV or when they come over is what they're being influenced by. They said the American men, especially the black men, they love to wear dresses for some odd reason. They love to
Oh
wear
my gosh, skinny pants, pearls. I'm sorry, all that.
yeah, yeah. The
Oh,
leprechaun
jeez.
pants, whatever the case may be, the leprechaun shoes, the kilts, the They ain't playing no damn horn or nothing, but they just putting on kilts for no damn reason. Um,
Oh, it's sad.
I was about to say something. I ain't gonna go into the rabbit hole on that one. Uh, no more is about to bring me into a dark place. All right. All right. All right. One second. One second. I'm gonna come right back to you. No more. All right. I want to make sure we address everybody on the floor. We gonna come back to you. All right. No more. All right. A special K.
Hi, Shalom, Most High Christ bless. Well,
Hey, Shalom,
special,
most high, Christ bless you.
yeah, special is based here in Africa. Uh, I'm a farmer, so I have a few hundred acres of farm. So I'm in the very remote parts of Nigeria, the western part of Nigeria, and the American cultural influences is even way here into the villages. It is shocking. It never used to be like this 3, 4 years ago. But it seems to be getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I think since the popularization of the Afrobeat type music in the West, we seem to have been able to then pull back a lot of that really nasty culture that we I mean we've all feared it. I mean, our sisters and daughters now dress like whores here. It's unbelievable. It's literally it's so bad. Um, when you're actually in the towns, like if you're in, like I mean, the major city in Nigeria is Lagos, Abuja, maybe in Ibadan, Port Harcourt, a few of the major towns, and you go into a restaurant or a wine bar or any place, modicumly decent place to go to, you'll find all these young girls in there, from their teens right up to their late 30s. And I don't even know how, there's no way to describe it other than whorish dressing. It is really bad. I mean, I enjoy doing karaoke. Um, so a couple of weeks ago, a couple of my friends of mine said, "Oh, come on, let's go out to this quiet bar. We go and do karaoke there." And we got to this bar, and quite frankly, I couldn't be there for more than 5 minutes. All the women had their breasts hanging out, their legs showing up all the way up to their underwear. Uh, if it's not that exposure, it's tight. You can see every muscle as they strain through their clothing. It's just really, really bad. And you can tell it's what they see on television. It's what they watch on. It's this spirit of that. I don't know what that girl, that musician. I understand she used to be a porn star or something in the U.S. And she met with Biden recently or last year or something.
Who you talking
And
about?
there's this lady in America, musician. I don't know. Maybe she used to be a porn star or something like that. Black girl.
You might be talking about Sexy Red or
Cardi
Yeah,
B.
Oh,
yeah,
got you.
yeah.
Okay,
Or
go ahead.
Cardi
Go ahead.
B,
Megan
I
the
think is the one.
Stallion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you talking about
Either or,
Cardi
Megan.
B.
yeah.
Okay, you
So
talking about
I mean,
Cardi B? Got you. All right, go ahead. Go ahead,
they
special.
all want to look like that. I mean, I recently heard this new term BBL, um, and that's already coming into the cities in Nigeria. I mean, I don't know whether you guys saw a video last week of was it bleaching bath that would bleach you completely white. I mean, it's gone completely insane here. It's gone mad over here, and it's
Hey,
you know
special. Before
yeah.
you go any further, where you at?
I'm in Oyo State in Nigeria.
Okay, okay, got you. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, here in Nigeria, it's gone. It's mad. It's completely insane. Um, Especially when you're in the towns, there is no safe space really anymore where you can go out and have
Hey,
and it's
hey,
this
special. To your point though, I remember I think it was a couple Mondays ago. Somebody's tried to swear up and down that that there was no bleaching cream. that people were not bleaching themselves. Yeah, I'm telling you, we was on the same platform, and people swore up and down that
Nah,
there was no
they've
bleaching
got
cream, or
bleaching
people were not
baths.
bleaching themselves. Huh?
They've got bleaching baths advertised on YouTube and on Instagram. You know, come in and have a 30,000 acid bath, and you see a scrub the skin and it just goes white almost immediately. I'm like, oh my goodness! And it's not just the ladies; it's the men as well are also bleaching. It's dreadful. It really is dreadful. Um, um, you know, the biggest population of blacks in the world are in Nigeria. I guess 2/3 of them is quite a large number, and we see it really is as if we're heading into the gutter here. A huge proportion, and young children are just chasing. I mean, video after video on YouTube or that is piped. I understand. I don't know what the algorithms that are set up here for Nigeria, and the kind of videos that they themselves make is skinty clad women, breast hanging out, and here in Africa, booty is everywhere anyway, and they hang it out for. I mean, it's just madness. Um, oh yeah,
And
I
the
don't know.
question now is that scriptural to be to dress promiscuous and be revealing as such? Is that something that a Christian country should be promoting or allowing its citizens to be doing?
Well, you see, I don't know whether you heard of a Christian church a few years back. I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, where the pastor insisted that all the ladies would come in with short skirts, and they must not wear underwear. I mean, Africa is just mad anyway when it comes to Christian churches.
This was in Africa.
Yeah, yeah. Somewhere
Hey,
in Nigeria
they
here,
they
where
they
the
learned it
pastor said,
straight. They learned it straight from the Christian church booklet. Said make some shit up, and they gonna do what they do. Go ahead, bro.
yeah, it's look, it's insane here. It's insane. I mean, we know the church is a dead spot. And I keep telling them, all you Christian churches, you're just dead. There's no godly spirit in any of the churches here in Nigeria. There's a photograph of a church pastor going around, and this couple um, had struggled to have children for, I don't know, maybe I think it was about 9 years, but eventually they had a child, and so at the naming ceremony, the pastor is standing next to the wife, and so the wife is in the middle, carrying the baby, and the husband is on the other side of the wife, and you could see the baby looks exactly like the pastor. I don't know how the guy missed that, but everybody in pastors around say, look, the pastor, this is the pastor's child. There's no way it could be this guy's child because baby looks exactly like him. I mean, churches in Nigeria are dead. Forget. It doesn't matter what they're called, whether they're Catholic, whether they're Pentecostal, Baptist, it doesn't matter what they're called. They're all dead. They're all dead. And I think some people are waking up to this, which is why I think we're now having a movement. People are now saying, oh, hold on, yes, you're right. Our churches don't teach us any of this stuff. And please, we want to learn some more. Tell us some more. Where do we go learn some more? I mean, forget Nigerian churches. I mean, that even the mosques, they're no better. They're now getting to do exactly. They're a little bit more modest than the Christians, but they're no different. They're no different. None of them teach the truth.
Yeah,
And
they don't, bro. And that's what we got this platform for. Hey, any of the moderators want to address it or speak on it?
Yes, sir. Hey, let me get a script real quick. Go to Second Ezra chapter 5 and verse 1, because he just made a great statement. He said that none of them teach the truth, right? He want to know more. So let me show you something real quick. Second Ezra chapter 5 verse 1. Because like he just said, basically in the gist of what he said, he answered the question, is American culture and influence destroying African women? Let's read it.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 5, verse 1. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Sorry, my apologies. The
Yeah,
book of Second Ezra, chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, I'm not sure connection's breaking down. Can you hear me?
No,
yeah,
you good. You good.
Okay. The book of Second Ezra, chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith.
So this is Africa right here. It says the land shall be barren of faith, right? Why? Because the verse, I mean, the part above, it says the way of truth shall be hidden. It says the day shall come. So this is future prophecy in the Bible, talking about our people. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago.
So just like you say, you just amazed at how evil and how wicked Africa has become due to the Christian churches. The Christian churches have no morality, but they got the Bible in the churches. You go to the church, don't get no scriptures. So the people are not learning what they need to learn. Instead, get Amos chapter 5. Amos chapter 5, I think it's 21.
Yes, 21, sir.
Go ahead.
The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 1, 21. I despise your feast days. I will not smell in your solemn day assemblies.
So that solemn assemblies is our churches. Jump down to verse 23.
Verse 23. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy voice.
So that go for the Christian gospel music. That goes for the music that's amongst our cultures in America, the hip hop, the rap, so on and so forth. The Afro music. God says these are noises in his ears. It's not good music. 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 33. And then I'm going to land my plane on this verse. So the question is American culture and influence destroying African women? Yes. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. This is why God says, take thou away from me the noise of thy songs. Read.
The book of First Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
So at one point of time, so-called Africans, the Israelites, right? We at one point had morality. We at one point didn't corrupt ourselves. But it says, read it one more time.
Be not deceived.
Don't be tricked. Don't
Evil,
be deceived. Read on.
evil communications corrupt good manners.
So the evil that's in the communications of music, hip hop, rap, Afro music throughout the world, evil communications have corrupted the African woman today. Evil communications have corrupted the Israelites today. All right. And it's because of evil communications. It corrupted the good manners that's supposed to be in us. The good manners is God's laws. So we've lost our true culture and our heritage, which is God's laws, because of evil communications.
mm. Hey,
Yeah,
Smack,
that's very spot on.
what you about to say?
And I said that's very true, because of all the stuff coming out from America, it lands straight on our table here, and our sisters, and you probably hear there's a lot of refugee crisis at your borders and things like that. Everybody thinks heading out over to the West is the best thing that could ever happen to them. And so we here in Africa, we want to be like Americans. We want to be like the British. We want to be like, it's the bleaching of the hair, of the skin, the wig wearing. It's the whole thing. We don't want to look like black people anymore. We want to be white if we can be. You know, if you're in the UK, where I'd lived for about 25 years before I decided to move back to Africa, um, we gradually started to see a plethora of advertising with either a black man and a white woman, or white man, white black woman with a white man, and all this mixed culture. And over time, and I remember one of the time I actually wrote to the advertising commission in the UK and said, "What's the meaning of all this? Why can't we have an advert with two black couples? Why does it have to be mixed?" And they told me, "Oh, to go go jump in a lake or something." That the advert was actually fine. But now it's everywhere. You watch a TV program or a film, and it always has to be mixed couples, and it's so our people over here think the life over there must be so great. You know, look at the way they dress. Must maybe it's the way they dress. Maybe it's the way they look. And we're just jumping straight into the fire with them. Our sisters, especially our sisters. It really is that bad. I mute my mic, as Asaph would say.
To say special, and this to all y'all. The reason it's so it's so prevalent that people mix or mingle amongst each other and such is because it's glorified. You understand? And I want to quote the late Cat Williams, man. He said, "What comes with the deal is you get a weird, strange faced, light skinned wife that nobody ever heard talk. You know, never heard them talk." And the reason I bring that up is because why would all of these comedians, celebrities, and such get weird, strange face, light skinned women and such, or who you don't even know their damn nationality? All of these people, America glorifies intermingling. You can read that in Daniel chapter 2. Get that in Daniel chapter 2 right quick, yo. Verse 41.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 41.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas thou sowest the feet and toes, part of the potter's clay, and part of iron, the
Mm-hmm.
kingdom shall be divided.
It says this kingdom, this current kingdom, that the fourth kingdom that will come out, or the fifth kingdom that will come out of the fourth, would be partly divided. It'd be divided. It would not be unified. You understand? Go ahead.
But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron.
So to have the strength of the iron, one of the kingdoms before it. Go ahead.
For as much thou sowest the iron mixed with the mire clay.
And it'll be mixed with miry clay. Jump to verse 43.
Verse 43.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas thou sowest iron mixed with mire clay,
Mm-hmm.
they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. So this country glorifies mingling amongst themselves. Go ahead.
But they shall not cleave one to another,
Mm-hmm.
even as iron is not mixed with clay.
So even if this country promotes mingling amongst each other, they will not be like a solidified country. You understand? Everybody still be for themselves. So with that in mind, that's why you see like brothers. I say our brothers try to get the so-called white woman, the so-called white woman going for our brothers, the our sisters going for the so-called white man. You understand? Mingling with the other nations and such, especially our women. I don't know what the hell's going on with them. Us men, we tend to go for our women, but the woman, for some odd reason, finds glory and say, "I'm gonna just go get me a white man." The so-called white man don't want the culture. They may push a culture, but they don't want that in their household. I pray that makes sense. You could promote a culture, but that ain't the culture you may want in your household. Just like most of these rappers. Most of these rappers, they teach shoot a brother, kill a brother, rob a brother, whatever the case may be. But then when they come back to their household, they live in posh neighborhoods where they barely go through poverty. They don't experience poverty. They don't experience thievery, robbery, whatever the case may be. They don't experience murder. They put their children through the finest schools and such. They don't go through what they rap or what they preach in their songs. So with that in mind, special, like what you were saying, is prevalent. They may push it, but they not gonna have that in their households for real though. I mean, you got them little sprinkles in there, but nah. On wholesale, nobody doing that, bro. We gonna reset the room right quick. Wait, we gonna reset the room. Hey, look, I said late. Pardon me. I said pardon me. That man is alive. He's alive. He said the late. Look, everybody in the comments scared. Jesus, Cat Williams dead? No, no, no. He's alive. He's alive. I said late accidentally, man. My bad, yo. Jesus. Look at him. Everybody in the comments losing their minds. That man was too funny to die. All right, so let me reset the room. All right, y'all listening to Biblical Smoke. The topic of the day is American culture and influence destroying African women. That's the question. All right, so when y'all have any questions or y'all may try to get more information on what we teach or preach, you can go to what's pinned to the top of the room, iuic.diaspora at israelunite.org. All right, send your questions there or inquiries about how much more you can learn about your nationality or repentance. All right, everybody you see with a green bean, these are the moderators. Make sure y'all follow. Hey, matter of fact, if y'all go to our bio, you'll see our TikTok. I need every single last one of y'all. I'm gonna say it again. I need every single last one of y'all to go to our bio and go to our TikTok and follow. All right. We got some popping on TikTok too. Biblical Smoke will be popping on TikTok. Go and follow our TikTok. All right. Take a little second right now to go do that. I'll give it like 5 seconds. See somebody following already. See that man. I see you. I see you, bro. You in the spirit. All right. Yeah. Some people actually follow. They actually follow orders, man. Hey, look. I had y'all thinking. Cat Williams was dead, but he ain't dead. But to his point though, he said that everybody gets a strange everybody gets a strange face wife. That's the deal that America gives you. You want money, you want fame, you want power. All right, take this strange, white, weird faced wife. Come on now. All right, I pray you understand that. So, hey, question for the room. I'm gonna go back to you, Superwoman. I did tell you I was gonna go back to you. All right, so question. Are you here with us?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right. What is the culture of those? You said Israel, right? Now, what is the culture of the Israelites scattered within Africa? Or do they not have a culture that they can claim to, that they can take on the white woman's American culture? Do we have a culture? If so, where can we find it in the Bible? If not, is American culture our culture? I mean, my mic.
Well, I'm not really sure if I'm qualified to answer that because I'm new to this truth, so I'm not really understanding exactly who Israel is besides Black Americans. I know Judah, Benjamin. So you're asking me the Israelites spread throughout Africa? I'm not sure which countries have Israelites, so I'm not really following what you're asking me.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Would you like a scripture?
I would, and I just want to bring, oh, yes, I would, sure.
All right. Get that Isaiah 11:11 right quick, man.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from
Assyria.
Egypt.
Hold on 1 second. Assyria is modern day Turkey. All right, so you have Israelites that are scattered in modern day Turkey. Go ahead.
And from Egypt,
Egypt is talking about, I believe, Lower Egypt. Go ahead.
and from Pathros,
Pathros is talking about Upper Egypt. Go ahead.
and from Cush,
Cush is referring to Ethiopia. Go ahead.
and from Elam,
Elam is referring to India. Go ahead.
and from Shinar,
Shinar is talking about Iraq. Go ahead.
and from Amath,
Go ahead.
and from the islands of the sea.
The islands of the sea. You can go to the Caribbean islands. You can go to the islands on the coast of Africa, like Saint Tome or South Tome. Those islands. So you have various references. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And he shall set an ensign for the nations, and
That's it. That's all I wanted. So, all right, you have a general idea now. So, these people would be scattered throughout all of these places. You understand, Superwoman?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the question stands, or question remains. Do these people have a culture? And if so, is it in the Bible? Or do they not have a culture and American culture is their culture?
Wow. Well, I believe it's, I guess, a little bit of both because we just heard from Special K. He's there in Africa and how the American culture has just taken over there. But they do have a biblical history and a culture that they may not be aware of or following.
You said a little bit of both. What do you mean again? Say it again.
Well, because you asked, is the American culture taking over their culture or the biblical culture? So I'm saying those that don't know their biblical history and who they are, they can't follow that if they don't know it. And the American culture is like a parasite and disease to the world, and it's taken over everywhere.
So, what would be their biblical culture? Do you have a scripture in mind?
No, but just from what you've read, it said the Lord is going to gather those people again the second time from those places.
Okay. Any of the moderators want to speak on that? Well, it's just me and Asa now. Let's call it and shook.
Can I bring up something real quick though when you all were talking about the mixing of the races and
Yeah, go.
American culture? From what I've seen, I don't do TV too much, but it seems like on every single advertisement, all they have is black women and white men, and I believe they're definitely doing that on purpose these days. So it just shows what they're attempting to do by separating us.
Hey, I'm telling you, ain't no more friends. Do you see the same thing?
Yeah, this been going on though. It's been going on in history, man. Even these people in these fraternities don't even understand, initially they had a whole paper bag test. if you ain't passed
Uh,
that if you ain't passed that paper bag test, you couldn't even get in the fraternity. And if y'all don't take my word for it, go and look it up.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's crazy. Uh, all right, Superwoman. We right back at you. All right, so you said you don't have a scripture in mind.
No, sir, I'm not that learned and knowledgeable yet.
All right. Get that. Rita, get that in Deuteronomy 33 and maybe verse 4.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 4. Moses commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob.
He said, even a what?
Even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob.
So inheritance goes into culture. So he commanded us a law, indeed the inheritance of the congregation of Israel. So the laws was the inheritance or culture. Maybe they might not be enough. Go to Sirach 17 very quick. You know what I want?
Yes, sir. Let me just get it. Verse.
Read verse 11, I believe.
Yes, sir. Verse 11. The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiastes and Apocrypha, chapter 17, verse 11. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage.
So he gave them the law of life for an heritage. Heritage is equivalent to culture. So when you read this Bible, the laws of God are our inheritance or culture. You agree?
Yes, sir.
So now the question now is, Where can we find American culture within the laws of God? Like, let's speak about blonde hair. We talked about that earlier. Are we just speaking at the side of our necks, or blonde hair? Is that a culture of the Israelites or the people of God?
I would not think so.
I said no more friends. You got the eyeballs up. What's your thoughts, man?
Nah, I want to see what you bring out. I want to see what you bring out for this so I can put it in my notes.
All right. Asa, you want to speak on it if you're free?
Yeah, I can. So when it comes to, you said blonde hair, right? Let's get it. Leviticus chapter 13, because as he just mentioned in Sirach chapter 17 and verse 11, is God gave us a law for a heritage. So you got to go into God's laws to understand the heritage of the Israelites. So Leviticus 13.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 13, verse 29. If a man or woman have a plague upon head or the beard, then the priest shall see the plague. And behold, if it be the side deeper than the skin, and there be in a yellow thin air, and the priest shall pronounce it unclean.
So you notice it says it's an uncleanness or a plague upon your head when you have yellow thin hair. So you got to ask yourself, where did the black woman get the thought process to put yellow hair in her head when this whole time from, thousands of years ago all the way up until slavery, we never had the culture of putting blonde hair in our head? Where did we get that thought from? We got it from the evil culture of the original Americans, which is the Caucasian man. So get that in Proverbs chapter 3. Proverbs 3 and 31. Because
The
everything that America pushes, black people follow. Everything that America, so-called white man push, black people follow. So watch this, Proverbs 3.
the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
So there was a time where, even till today, the so-called white man is in rulership and power, right? And the Bible says, envy thou not the oppressor. The white man has oppressed the whole entire world, subjugated the whole continent of Africa, subjugated the whole continent of the Americas, from the Hispanics, the natives, and the blacks, right? So the scripture says, don't envy those that oppress you. And the way you envy them is by choosing his ways. He's naturally comes out the womb with blonde hair and red skin. You understand? Where you can see the blood flowing through his skin. You understand? And so guess what? Our people from the African or from Africa, our people here in America, we look upon these people, and because they're prospering, I want to be like that guy. Or I want to be like that woman. Blondes have more fun. You understand? Read it again.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
So in our heritage, in our culture, God says, do not choose the ways of those that oppress you, those that are your enemies. Never choose his ways. You understand? So from our today so-called culture of hip hop, the things they push from blonde hair, BBLs, adultery in the music, fornication within the music, all of these things, that was never a part of us. We learned that from the oppressor.
You understand that, Superwoman? Or no more friends. You took note of that.
I
Yeah, but it's Proverbs what again?
3:31.
Yes, sir, I understand. I have a personal question though with that scripture because from my understanding it says do not envy the ways. So do not go out and change what God has naturally given you to be in that way. But what about a situation where children are born with mixed blood and they have the blonde hair? Does that mean it's a curse for them to be born with the blonde hair naturally?
So no, no. So get Numbers 1 and 18. So when it comes to mixing of the races, it's not necessarily a mixing because God have it down to a science. Watch this. Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18. Now you may get certain features from, the other race or whatever the case may be, but you only are one race. Watch this. Numbers 1 verse 18.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years
So
old
mhm, finish it
and,
up.
and upward, by their polls.
So they declared their pedigrees by the house of their fathers. Pedigree just go into your lineage, your bloodline. All right. So, and better yet, while we on it, because a part of the evil communications, as Special had mentioned earlier, as well as Superwoman, they push evil in our faces through their media, social media, Instagram, YouTube, all of that. You got the cable, all of that. They push their evil agendas on social media or just media in general. Read Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3 while we here on this topic, because this is a part of evil communications which have corrupted our thought process in our minds. Read that, Deuteronomy 7 and 3. So
The,
remember, this is talking about the culture and the heritage of the Israelites. Read.
the book of Numbers, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto a son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they might serve other gods. So will the
So,
anger of the Lo- so will the
so
anger
a
of the
part of
Lord be
our culture,
kindled.
so a part of our culture and a part of God's laws, God says we are not to make marriages with them because they would turn our minds from following God to the point where now, yes, we begin to envy them and try to change our ways or turn us away from following God's law, statutes, and commandments that was given unto us, right? But there's no mixing of the races. You are what your father is. You are what your father is. So if your father is a so-called African American today, according to the Bible, they would be from the tribe of Judah, and your father impregnated a Chinese woman, that would make you an so-called African woman, American woman or man. That answer your question, sis?
It does kind of, because I understand we're the lineage of our fathers, but when I say mixed, for example, my ex-husband, he's black and white, I'm black and white, my children have blonde hair. From the first scripture you read, I understand to envy other cultures and change yourself is not what we're supposed to do, but I'm saying to biologically be born that, is it like a curse upon their head, is what I'm asking.
Got you. So the scripture just says that it's unclean. That's it. It's a uncleanness. That's all it is. So not necessarily that it's sin. You can't take, blonde hair and put it in your head because that's going into that's a psychological damage. That's trauma. You want to, it's self-hatred, right? But as far as being born with it, no. But it is an uncleanness. So it's not sin, but it is an uncleanness according to
And
Leviticus 13.
what does that mean?
So, for example, you have like an albino, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's a defect. That's all. That's all.
Okay, thanks. Makes sense.
Exactly. I was about to say. I was like, shoot, it's not something that's natural. So that's when you go and read Leviticus chapter 13 in its entirety. It goes into how would you determine what's unclean and what's not, what's clean and what's unclean. All right, so that's a little bit of homework right there. Alicia, you came in at the right time. Alicia G.
Shalom, so most I'm quite blessed.
You done heard a lot of stuff while you sitting up on stage, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay, what's your thoughts on the topic, yo?
Is American culture an influence destroying African women? I mean, America is the so-called superpower, so everybody look to those that live in the superpower country. Everybody watch what they do. They don't not just an impact on an African woman, but women in the Caribbean as well. Everybody just look to, and since America has made um, African Americans the focal point for everything, for crime, for dressing, for music, then everybody looks at them and wants to emulate what they're doing. Unfortunately, the bad things more than the good things. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say on that. And the next thing is about they're pushing men that in the industry or women in the industry, they suddenly, well, most of the men suddenly be, showing up with a pale face person and now pushing the woman into interracial. But like Willie Lynch says that we are economics. Um the I'm sure the white man understand that his men, our men marrying their woman is economics for them, because you see what happens at the end of the day. Everything is taken away from the man, and when our women marry the white man, they don't get anything. They don't get child support, they don't get alimony, so I just think it's economics. Just using us as economics is, unfortunately, we're not able to see the bigger picture. And yes, the guy was right. Mostly a lot of African women. I live in the UK and I've seen it. More African men are more inclined to marry their own African women and Caribbean women, but the African women just have a disdain for African men and they prefer to marry the white man. It doesn't matter how he
Damn.
looks. And you see, and then you find that the black men that marry white women, they tend to take the most facially challenging white woman and the most
Did you just say?
aesthetically displeasing white
Did you
woman to take
just
home.
say facially challenged?
Yes, that's how we say it in the Caribbean. Diplomatic. Yeah,
Yeah,
facially challenged.
God, that is the most, I guess, politically correct way to say somebody ugly is all hell. But understood. Go ahead.
Yes, or they're not really roadworthy. But these are the
Did
ones
you
that
just
are.
say road worthy?
Yes, yes.
God, Jesus, where is your vocabulary at?
Well, you have it can't be too out there with you. I have to make it sound as nice as possible.
Hey, for those who don't know what the hell she's talking about, start taking notes. This is how you call somebody ugly in secret.
Yes. So it's economics, and that's how I see it. I might be wrong, but I think it's economics for the white man.
Okay, so
Shalom, most high Christ bless.
shalom, sis. So now that you open up that door, question: how is it good economics to interracial marry for the so-called white man?
Because when like the video said, when we as black women marry white women, white men, what was it? We internalize racism, and so the black men also internalize racism. It means that everything that he works for, he wants to, please the white woman or please the white race. So he or she, both of us would put our more focus into the children, building wealth with them and so forth, because they don't believe where that building with their community is ever going to get them anywhere. And you
Mm.
see, because of the hatred that we have for one another. And I know this personally because I live in the UK, and you see certain things, or being around certain, work with certain of the white race, they will be very honest in explaining certain things. And it's one thing that a black man has to do if he wants to stay in a relationship over here with a white woman. He has to constantly tell her how much he hates black women. He has to talk trash about a black woman because that's the only how she would feel confident that she has no competition.
Yeah, I probably would have to too, since some people are built like surfboards, built like sheets of crackers, sheets of paper, and stuff like that. The only way you convince that so-called white woman that she's better than the best woman on this earth is to keep degrading your own woman. Sad to hear that. It's just sad. God bless her heart. Wow, you said quite a bit though. You said quite a bit. Hmm.
Yeah, I have to get back to the plantation.
You have to get back to the plantation. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
So you just gonna drop a few dimes and then leave. Okay, that sounds just like our people. All right, sister. Thank you for your comment, yo. He said, "Bless their heart." Hey, law. I got you. I got you. Law Dragon. I got you. All right. Let me see. Who is this? Like I said, our people. I'm gonna get to y'all. Just be patient. Um, we gotta try to clear the floor right quick. All right. Hey, Law Dragon. Law Dragon. What's your thoughts on the topic?
Hello, Gabriel. Shalom. How you doing? Are you enduring, brother?
Let's. Yeah. Why you say it like that? What's up with you?
What do you mean?
You said it all weird and stuff. All right. What's your thoughts on the topic, yo? He said, "How you doing, brother?"
Gabriel, I am weird.
Ah, okay. All right. Right. Come on, Law. What's your thoughts on the topic, bro?
All right. So, yeah, is American culture and influence destroying African women? Yeah, for sure. Whatever the United States does, I noticed that other countries they like to copy what America does for some strange reason. I don't know, but when it comes to women empowerment in the States, like wearing pants and those ugly wigs that they have on their hair and those fake nails and their loud mouth. I mean, it's clearly in Africa. You can see it on TV, and other parts.
Mm, okay. So it is affecting them. Okay. So, where? Give me an example of how you seen it affecting them in Africa. You said now. You said something about loudmouths, the wigs, so on and so forth. You talking about just in America, or what you've witnessed over there in Africa as well?
I'm not from Africa. I live in England now, but how can I say? It, you know the Black American woman, like the Israelite woman in America, how they behave, their ratchet behavior. It's the same type of
I
shit
wouldn't
that's
say
in Africa.
like woman behaves themselves like that, but you talking about those who follow American culture?
Yeah. I'm not talking about the Israelite woman that keeps the commandments. I'm talking about the uh the black woman in the States that behave like a ratchet pig. You can see that type of behavior in Africa, like the loud mouth. Like before, when there was like less American influence in Africa, women were actually very submissive to their husband, and they were, keeping to their culture and dressing modestly. But now you see pants, and you basically see whoredom now, especially in African women.
A
And
law.
I notice,
Where did they pick up those? Where did they pick up those attributes? You had brought up pants. I'm glad you brought that up. So prior to them wearing pants, what in that time frame, what were they doing? You said they were being submissive to the man, correct?
absolutely, and they were wearing dresses and they were being obedient. And
Correct.
also, the women had protection. Like there was no boyfriend and girlfriend crap in Africa, like a man approaching a woman in the streets and asking her number. But now you see shit like that, and also. Uh, the man in the woman in Africa, she always had protection. If her father passed away or wasn't around, at least she had her uncle for protection, or other relatives in the family. But now you see women more alone because women are the weaker vessel, and uh, the same type of behavior you see in the States is the same type of behavior you see in Africa. You know,
Okay, so where did they pick up those attributes
they
of being
picked it up from
rebellious,
the white man from
loud,
the
wearing
States.
pants? Say again?
They picked it up from the Edomites. Okay,
Mm,
it's America. I don't care if like French, German, Russian, Italian, American, they're all the same. They picked it up from the Edomites. That's where they got that behavior from. Just like in the old days when our people were in Helena in Greek, when the Greeks forbade us to keep God's commandments, they wanted us to follow their customs. It's the same thing in the United States and in Africa. It's the same thing.
understood, yo. Moderators want to speak on that? All right. So, like I was saying earlier, I actually agree. They came from the so-called white man, yo. I'm gonna say it straight. When we was going through oppression in the 50s and the 60s and such, segregation, the Jim Crow laws, whatever the case may
You
be,
didn't see no pants.
you didn't see no pants, nor did
You
you see
see the woman
anybody wanted to.
submissive
Once
by their man, no rebellion, no loud mouth. But now, oof,
correct law.
it's bad.
So you didn't see any of that. Where did they learn that from? Where did they learn the pants from? Amelia Bloomer.
Because the white
Then
woman
law one
decided,
second. Yeah, you got a lot of zeal. What you about to
yeah,
say, bro?
the white woman decided that she saw her white man with too much power, and she says, you know what? I want to have a little bit of power that my man has. So they start rebelling and start this feminist movement. And the white woman went to the black woman saying, oh, your black man is oppressing you, which is a damn lie. It was all a motive to destroy the black family. Okay. That is where that spirit came from. That's how it entered into the black woman, starting to rebel her man, her father, her brother, her uncle, and started with this wretched behavior.
Correct, correct. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. Elizabeth, thank you. Yeah, okay. Either way. All right. So yeah, they these actions came from the heathen, man. Prior to that, we was more unified. We was always together. We um we didn't rebel against the women. Didn't rebel against the black man as such. Everybody was unified because we had one common enemy to garnish more numbers against their so-called white male counterparts. They went to the black woman and said, "Hey, you're being oppressed as well." Now people making up shit like, "Hey, aren't you being oppressed by your man?" Yeah, our granddad's been beating our grandmothers all these years. We didn't have time to beat our grandmothers. We was too busy getting our behinds beat on the corners by the so-called white man in the streets, getting hosed down by them. You understand? Shit, that's why Rodney King got what he got. You understand? Or what's the other brother? Jesse? Can't remember his name. Jesse something. Not Jesse Jackson. It's a name I'm looking for. But either way, he got his behind beat in the streets. He ain't had time to beat no woman. You didn't got your behind served in the streets, and you gonna come home and have energy to serve your woman. Come on now, get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, but brother
So,
Gabriel, I'm sorry to say this. We as Israelites, this is what I notice about us as a race of people. We're
hey,
very
hey,
easy
Law,
to
I'm starting to see you sound familiar, yo. It's like I heard you before, but your name wasn't Law Dragon though.
Yeah, I sometimes change my name, but AY told me to change my name to Law because Lawrence is actually my first real name, and he told me to,
Mm-hmm.
keep it to Law. And yeah, so like what I was trying to say is that
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, we as Israelites, I've noticed something about us as a race of people. We're very easy to manipulate and control as long as, like, the other nations, like, flaunt pleasure at us, like sin. Like, I'm talking about weed or whoredom. Like, it's like they got us in some sort of a trance. Like, as soon as they hand those goods to us, we will do whatever they want us to do, if you know what I mean. Like we're very easy to control. The Chinaman is not like this. Like the Edomites are not like this. The Arabs and the Elam, like it's always us that behave in like a child mind state. Like as long as like they give us toys, we will do whatever they tell us to do. If you know what I mean, right? Like we're very easy. We're weak minded.
Yes, very. Yes, very, bro. All right, so I actually want to hear no more friends, right quick. No more friends, yo. You at your phone, yo.
Yeah, what's the word?
All right. Before we surely have to close out the room. I wanted to hear your thoughts specifically. So, all in all, in conclusion, what do you think? What do you think could remove this American culture from our African women, bro? From being destroyed, from being influenced. What do you think can fix that, yo?
Okay, so I got a question and then I got an answer. My question
All right.
is, do you think that this is American culture, or do you think this is some Roman remix?
Both, because
Okay.
America is Rome. So I agree with you on that one. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my answer is, yeah, we need to go back into the history. We need to maybe teach people about our original history, like the fact that we were the original Romans, and then we had a group of people come in and remix some stuff and enslave people and kill people. I'm gonna be dropping a few links in the chat for y'all to read
Hey,
before
you
we
said
close
we
out. That's it.
say we are the original Romans. What do you mean we?
Black people.
The original Romans. Now, would you how astute is
I
your
got sources to back it up.
you got sources? Okay, okay, okay. Because I was about to say, man, we have other sources that show that the original Greeks and Romans are from the nation of Japhet and the
Which would be
so-called,
modern day what?
which would be the Italians. Well, Japhet would be specifically Minoans, Samoans, those of the Polynesian islands and such. Modern day Hawaiians.
Yeah, we was all over Australia. So I'm not pushing back on that.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
but
Go ahead.
then so one thing to prove what I'm saying, right? Just one source, right? And I'm gonna drop the link. The native language of the Romans was Latin, right?
Yep.
Its alphabet was based on the Etruscan alphabet.
Etruscans got you. I know
Etruscan.
exactly what you're
Who
talking about. Go ahead.
exactly. So you see where I'm going, because you
Yep,
know who
yeah,
the
they
original
are Japhet.
Etruscans
We
were.
not Japhet though. We a separate nation. But I agree with you that they are the original Romans. I do agree 100% though.
Yeah, that's
Um,
all I was saying.
yeah, you on point on that one. Mm, okay, you know what? You may have opened up a topic for another day actually. The question now is so to answer your previous question, American culture is the amalgamation or a simulation type of culture, to where it's either you grab onto our culture or you get kicked out. Now, America has culture, they've combined cultures from all other people. Homosexuality, where did that originally start from? Where's the first instance that you can read Sodom homosexuality? You read about that in Sodom and Gomorrah in the scriptures, Genesis chapter 18 and Genesis chapter 19. You read about that there. So where did they pick up their homosexual culture from? They picked it up from there. Where did they pick the intermingling of races? You can read as early as us intermingling with other races. I'm talking about the Israelites with as far as the Assyrians. That's why Northern Kingdom came out with certain features. You understand the chink chink eyes and the certain type of noses where they can pass off as Persians. I won't be able to go into it in detail now, but you can read all of that rich history inside the scriptures. All right. Uh hey, no more friends, but hey, you have a deep mind, and I don't say that as an insult, by the way. You have a deep mind. I would like you to go to IUIC diaspora at Israelite.org, bro. I want you to build with us, learn with us. Superwoman, same thing. Please visit the website. Alicia, we've heard from you, Law. I think you said you spoke to A1. All right, go to IUIC diaspora at Israelite.org. Follow us all on